budget-related question, but on infrastructure.
Yeah.
The president has repeatedly, including today again, called for a major infrastructure plan to the tune of $1 trillion, roads, bridges, tunnels, you name it. Can you explain where that money is going to come from, how it fits into the budget that's under review right now, and what the timeline for that project would be?
So I think that would be part of a longer-term discussion that we're having with Congress. As you know, the president got in office 30-some-odd days ago. The idea of getting a budget, as you know, it's commonly referred to as a skinny budget, is to get the government continue to be funding, and it'll be something that we'll work with Congress. I understand your point. The president continues to talk about the status.
Priority for him.
It is, absolutely. But I think that we've got to make sure that it's done right. And then we work with Congress. I think, as you correctly mentioned, there's obviously a funding mechanism to this. And we've already talked about things like comprehensive tax reform that could add to that discussion. And so I understand what you're asking in terms of how this will be funded and when it will be coming and the pay-fors. But we're working with Congress to have that discussion. I think that comes probably outside of the budget discussion.
And so how does he square that with the need to tighten the belt, which he also talked about today?
Because
we've been spending too much as a
right,
government.
but I
We
think
need to
there's,
cut our
but
spending.
in the same manner that we're presenting the budget. So we're talking about adding $54 million, or $54 trillion rather, to $1 billion to thank you, appreciate the help here. But we're looking to add that to defense, and so what it means is that we have to look through other programs to find reductions in savings. I think that same kind of discussion would happen with respect to infrastructure, not necessarily the savings piece, but the funding piece. That there's several ways, and I know that there's a lot of discussion, private-public partnerships that he has started to have a discussion with in terms of the funding mechanism. And so all I'm trying to get at is that there are various ways to do this funding without just relying on the American taxpayer in terms of additional taxes. There are spending reductions, there are other funding mechanisms, and I think in due course we will get around to that discussion.
And just related to that, he mentioned in his remarks about infrastructure today